The full moon hung over Moonshadow Pack like a warning.
Bright, cold,
Watching. And Alpha Lucian Nightfang hated full moons. Not because of rogues. Not because of rival packs. Not because danger came with darkness.
no.
He hated full moons because every single month, his Luna disappeared. Again. And tonight, she was gone. Elena. Lucian's voice thundered through the pack house. No answer. His jaw tightened. The bedroom window was open. Curtains danced wildly in the wind. The scent of pine and blood drifted into the room. Fear gripped his chest. Not again. Behind him, warriors shifted nervously. No one dared speak. No one dared breathe. This had happened 6 times. 6 full moons. 6 disappearances. And every single time, Elena returned before sunrise. Broken. Shaking. Covered in blood. With no memory. Lucian clenched his fists. Find her. The warriors moved instantly. Within seconds, the entire Moonshadow Pack was searching. Forest. River. Mountain trails. Everywhere. Lucian shifted into his massive black wolf and ran. Branches snapped beneath him. Wind roared past. His instinct screamed.
Mate, mate, mate.
Then, he caught her scent.
Blood.
Fresh blood. His wolf growled. Lucian pushed harder.
Faster.
Until he reached a clearing. And froze. Elena stood in the moonlight. Barefoot. Motionless. Her white dress stained red. Blood dripped from her fingers. Her silver hair danced in the wind. She looked unreal. Beautiful. Terrifying. Slowly, she turned. Her eyes met his. And Lucian's heart stopped. Her glowing blue eyes had turned silver. Not wolf silver. Something else. Something ancient. Something impossible. Elena. She blinked. Confusion flooded her face. The blood on her hands caught her attention. Her lips trembled. Then came the words Lucian feared most. Lucian. Tears filled her eyes. I don't remember. Again. She remembered nothing. But what Lucian saw next chilled him to the bone. Not far behind Elena, 3 dead rogues lay on the ground. Torn apart.
Slaughtered.
Not by claws. Not by wolves. Something else killed them. Something powerful. Something merciless. Lucian stared at Elena. Then at the bodies. Then back at his Luna. Who, or what, was she becoming? And why did it only happen under the full moon? But what terrified him most was the fact that deep down, his wolf already knew the answer. And it was afraid. Morning came, but peace did not. The Moonshadow Pack was restless. Whispers spread like wildfire. Fear had entered the pack. And fear always needed someone to blame. That someone was Elena. Inside the pack house, Elena sat quietly at the edge of the bed. Her hands trembled. She stared at dried blood beneath her fingernails. No matter how hard she tried, nothing came back. No memory. No images. Only darkness. Lucian stood near the window.
Silent.
Rigid. Dangerously unreadable. He hadn't spoken much since bringing her back. That hurt more than shouting ever could. Elena's voice cracked. Do you think I killed them? Lucian said nothing. The silence crushed her. Slowly he turned. His sharp golden eyes locked onto hers. I don't know what to think. Her heart sank. She swallowed hard. You believe I'm dangerous. Lucian's jaw tightened. I believe something is happening to you. That isn't an answer. No, he said coldly. It isn't. Elena looked away. Pain spread through her chest. For months, Lucian had protected her, defended her, stood beside her. But now, even he was starting to doubt, and she could feel it. That terrified her. A knock interrupted the silence. Before Lucian could respond, the door opened. Celine Ashwood walked in. Elegant, beautiful, smiling,
And poisonous.
Her sharp eyes landed on Elena's trembling hands. A smirk touched her lips. How tragic. Lucian frowned. Celine. She ignored his warning. Her gaze remained fixed on Elena. I heard 3 rogues were found dead. Silence. Celine stepped closer. Their bodies were shredded beyond recognition. Elena stiffened. Celine tilted her head. What exactly happened out there? Lucian's voice dropped. That's enough. Celine finally looked at him. Is it? Her smile vanished. What happens when next full moon comes? No one answered. Celine folded her arms. What if next time it isn't rogues? Her words landed like poison. What if next time she kills one of us? Elena's face drained of color. No. Celine pressed harder. What if she kills you, Lucian? Enough. Lucian's alpha command shook the room. Celine took one step back, but her eyes gleamed. She had done exactly what she came to do. Plant fear. Plant doubt. And worst of all, it worked, because for the first time, Lucian had no defense. Celine's voice softened, mockingly sympathetic. We all care about the pack. Then she looked directly at Elena. If she's hiding something, we deserve to know. After she left, silence returned. Heavy, suffocating. Elena stared at the floor. Tears burned her eyes. I'm not hiding anything. Lucian exhaled sharply. I know. But do you trust me? That question hung in the air. Lucian said nothing. Again. And this time, that silence shattered her. Elena stood abruptly. Tears streamed down her face. I am trying, Lucian. Her voice broke. I am trying so hard to remember. He softened slightly. Elena.
No.
She stepped back. Hurt. Broken. You're scared of me. That's not true. Then look me in the eyes and tell me you trust me. Lucian froze. 1 second. 2 seconds. Too long. Elena's expression collapsed. That hesitation told her everything. Her voice dropped to a whisper. I see. Then she turned and walked away. Lucian didn't stop her. Didn't move.
Didn't speak.
And that was his biggest mistake. Because he didn't notice something terrifying. As Elena left the room, a strange silver symbol briefly glowed behind her neck. Ancient. Radiant.
Alive.
Then vanished. Unseen by all. But something had awakened. And it was growing stronger. The next 3 days felt unbearable. The entire pack had changed. Everywhere Elena went, conversation stopped. Warriors stared. Servants whispered. Even Omegas who once smiled at her now avoided eye contact. Fear had poisoned everything. And Elena felt it. Every second. Every stare. Every whisper. She was no longer just the Luna. She was the mystery no one trusted. The danger no one understood. And the worst part? She was starting to fear herself. That night, Elena stood alone in the garden. Cold wind brushed against her skin. The moon was only half full. Yet unease twisted inside her. Something felt wrong. Her wolf had been restless all day. Agitated. Pacing. As if sensing danger. Then she heard voices. Lucian. And Celine. They were near the training grounds. Elena didn't mean to listen. But then, she heard her name. And froze. Celine's voice was calm.
Too calm.
You know I'm right. Lucian sounded irritated. That doesn't mean I trust you. Celine laughed softly. You don't need to trust me. You only need to face reality. Silence. Then Celine spoke again. She's changing. Elena's heart pounded. Lucian said nothing. Celine continued. She disappears every full moon.
Pause.
She returns covered in blood.
Pause.
She remembers nothing. Elena's breathing grew shallow. Then came the words that made her stomach drop. How long before she becomes a threat to this pack? Lucian exhaled heavily. I don't know. Celine moved closer. Her voice lowered. But I do. Elena could almost hear Celine smiling. She already is. Lucian remained silent. Celine pressed on. If you hesitate because she's your mate, innocent people will suffer. Elena's hands trembled. No. 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 Celine said the one thing Elena feared most. If necessary, a pause. Then, you may have to reject her. Everything stopped. Elena's world shattered. Her chest tightened so violently, she could barely breathe. Reject her? Her mate? Her alpha? Lucian's voice came low and dangerous. Careful, Celine. But Celine wasn't afraid. Can you honestly say you haven't thought about it? Silence. Deadly silence. Elena felt tears burn her eyes. Say something. Lucian.
Please.
Say something. Anything. Then Lucian finally spoke. His voice was cold, heavy, conflicted. If she becomes a threat to this pack.
He paused.
And Elena stopped breathing. I'll do what I must. The words hit harder than a blade. Elena staggered back. Pain exploded through her chest. She covered her mouth to stop a sob.
No. No.
This couldn't be real. Lucian, the man who promised forever, the man who swore to protect her, the man who called her his destiny, was considering rejecting her because he feared her. A branch snapped beneath her foot. Silence. Lucian turned instantly. Elena? Too late. She ran. Tears blurred her vision. Pain consumed her. Behind her, Lucian shouted. Elena!
She didn't stop. Couldn't stop.
Her wolf cried inside her. The mate bond burned with agony. She reached the forest edge before strong arms grabbed her wrist. She spun around. Lucian, breathing hard, eyes wild. Elena, wait. She yanked free. Don't touch me. Pain flashed across his face. Elena. Tears streamed down her cheeks. Was any of it real? Lucian froze. Her voice cracked. When you said, I was your home. Tears fell harder. When you said I was your future. She stared straight into his eyes. Did you mean any of it? Lucian stepped forward. You heard out of context. Elena laughed bitterly. The sound was broken. Out of context. Her voice rose. You said if I became a threat, you'd do what you must. Lucian clenched his jaw. I have responsibilities. And I'm just another responsibility?
No.
Then what am I, Lucian? Silence. Again. Always silence. That silence destroyed what little remained. Elena backed away slowly, devastated. You were supposed to be the one person who believed me. Lucian's expression shifted. Regret.
Pain.
But it was too late. Elena whispered the words that broke him. I'm more afraid of losing you than I am of losing myself. Then she turned and walked away. Lucian didn't follow. This time he knew. He had hurt her deeply. But neither of them noticed the terrifying change happening nearby. In the shadows of the forest, a pair of glowing silver eyes watched them, waiting, patient, hungry. And as Elena disappeared into the darkness, that creature smiled. 3 days passed, but nothing improved. Elena barely spoke. Lucian barely slept. The distance between them had become unbearable. They still lived under the same roof, yet they felt worlds apart. The bond between them remained, but now it was filled with pain. Heavy,
raw,
unspoken. Even the pack could feel it. Celine, however, was pleased. Every crack between Lucian and Elena made her stronger, and she planned to widen those cracks until everything broke. Then, the full moon returned. Too soon. Far too soon. Tension gripped Moonshadow Pack before sunset. Warriors doubled patrols. Guards were posted everywhere. Every entrance secured. No one intended to let Elena disappear again. Inside their room, Elena stood near the window. Her body trembled. Not from fear. From something worse. Something inside her was changing. She could feel it. Her wolf was restless.
Wild.
Agitated. As though fighting something buried deep inside. Lucian entered. He stopped when he saw her shaking. Elena. She didn't turn. Her voice came soft. Broken. I'm scared. That single sentence crushed him. Lucian stepped closer. For a moment, pride disappeared. Anger disappeared. Only concern remained. He gently placed a hand on her shoulder. She flinched. The movement hurt him more than she knew. Elena. His voice softened. You're not alone. Tears filled her eyes. Slowly she turned. Fear consumed her face. What if Celine is right? Lucian's expression hardened. She isn't. What if I hurt someone? You won't. How do you know? Lucian held her gaze. Because despite everything, he still loved her.
Deeply. Fiercely.
But before he could answer, A scream echoed through the pack. Then another. Then chaos exploded. Lucian's head snapped toward the door. Warriors shouted outside. Panic spread instantly. The door burst open. A warrior stumbled in, breathing hard, terrified. Alpha Lucian turned. What happened? The warrior's face had gone pale. His next words froze the room. The children. Elena's breath caught. Lucian's voice dropped. What about them? The warrior swallowed. Then said the unthinkable. They're gone. Silence. Dead silence. Lucian stared. The warrior continued. 3 children disappeared from the nursery. Elena's blood ran cold.
No. No. No.
Lucian rushed out. Elena followed. Chaos ruled the pack house. Mothers cried. Fathers shouted. Warriors ran in every direction. Fear had become madness. Then Elena heard it. The whisper. Not from outside. From the crowd. She did it. Another voice joined. It happened on the full moon again. Then another. She took them. Panic spread faster. Eyes turned toward Elena.
Cold.
Suspicious. Terrified. Celine stepped forward. Her expression looked concerned, but her eyes gleamed with cruel satisfaction. This cannot be ignored anymore. Lucian growled. Celine. She raised both hands. Am I wrong? No one answered. Celine looked directly at Elena. Every full moon something terrible happens. Her voice sharpened, and somehow she is always at the center of it. Elena shook her head. No. Celine advanced. 3 children are missing. Tears filled Elena's eyes. I didn't do this. Celine's expression darkened. Then prove it. Elena froze. Celine pressed harder. Tell us where you go every full moon. I don't know. Tell us why blood covers your hands. I don't know. Tell us what you are. The last question shattered the air. Elena stepped back, broken, terrified. Her breathing became uneven.
Fast.
Painful. Her wolf suddenly screamed inside her. A sharp pain exploded in her skull. She grabbed her head,
Gasping.
Then, a voice echoed in her mind. Ancient.
Cold.
Awaken. Elena froze. Her eyes widened. No one else heard it. Only her. Awaken. Pain surged harder. She screamed. Lucian moved instantly. Elena. She collapsed to her knees, hands gripping her head. The silver mark behind her neck began glowing.
Bright.
Brighter. Brighter. The entire crowd gasped. Celine stumbled back. What is that? Elena lifted her head, and everyone froze. Her eyes. They had turned silver. Completely silver. Not human. Not wolf. Something far more terrifying. The temperature dropped. Wind exploded through the hall. Lights flickered violently. Then Elena spoke. But it wasn't her voice. It was deeper, ancient, powerful, and horrifying. 3 words left her lips. They are alive. Silence. Every soul froze. Then Elena slowly turned toward the forest. Her silver eyes glowed brighter. And she whispered, They're waiting. Then everything went dark. She collapsed, unconscious. And somewhere deep in the forest, 3 children cried for help. The moment Elena collapsed, chaos erupted. Warriors shouted. Mothers cried harder. The pack hall descended into panic. Lucian dropped to his knees beside Elena. Elena. No response. Her body was limp, unconscious, but her skin felt ice cold. Completely unnatural. Lucian's wolf growled inside him. Something was wrong. Very wrong. Celine's voice cut through the panic. She knows where the children are. Lucian looked up sharply. Celine stood rigid, eyes wide. Fear and calculation mixed in her expression. She said they're alive. Her voice shook. But who are they? No one had an answer. Lucian carefully lifted Elena into his arms. His eyes turned toward the warriors. Take her to our room. 2 trusted guards stepped forward. Lucian's voice became deadly. No one enters except me. Celine frowned. You're leaving her unguarded? Lucian's golden eyes locked onto hers. She is my Luna. The alpha command in his voice silenced everyone. Then he turned to his warriors. We move now. Within minutes, 20 elite warriors stood ready.
Armed.
Focused. Tense. Lucian stood at the front. The forest loomed ahead.
Dark.
Silent.
Wrong.
Too quiet. The air felt heavy, as if something waited in the shadows. Watching. Lucian's instincts screamed danger. Still, he moved. The warriors followed. Step by step, they entered deeper into the woods. Branches cracked beneath their feet. Wind whispered through ancient trees. Then,
A sound. Soft. Weak.
a child crying. Everyone froze. Lucian lifted his hand. Silence. There it was again. A child's voice. Crying for help. From ahead. Lucian moved faster. His heart pounded. The warriors followed closely. Then they reached a clearing.
And stopped.
Shock rippled through the group. The 3 missing children sat in the middle of the clearing.
Alive.
Unharmed. Terrified.
Crying.
One little girl looked up and screamed. Alpha. The warriors rushed forward. But Lucian didn't move. Because something was wrong. Very wrong. The children weren't alone. Massive claw marks covered the ground around them.
Deep. Fresh.
Too large for ordinary wolves. Lucian slowly scanned the clearing. Then his blood turned cold. Symbols. Strange silver symbols. Carved into the earth. A circle surrounded the children. Ancient markings glowed faintly beneath moonlight. Lucian's wolf became restless. Fear flooded him. He had seen symbols like this before. Long ago. In forbidden pack records. Impossible.
No.
It couldn't be. Then one of the children spoke. A little boy. His voice shook violently. She saved us. Lucian froze.
What?
The boy pointed toward the forest, eyes wide with terror. There was a monster. Silence fell. The boy continued trembling. It came from the dark. Another child started crying. It was huge. It had red eyes. It wanted to take us. Lucian knelt. His voice softened. Who saved you? The children looked terrified.
Confused.
Then the little girl whispered. A lady. Lucian's breathing stopped.
No.
The girl's tiny voice trembled. She glowed. Silence. She had silver eyes. Lucian's heart slammed against his chest. The girl continued. She protected us. No one moved. No one breathed. Then the little boy whispered the words that shook Lucian to his core. She called herself.
Pause.
The child swallowed hard. The Moon Queen. Everything stopped. Lucian went completely still. Impossible.
No.
Impossible. That name belonged to myth. Legend. Ancient stories told to pups. A ruler older than modern packs. A being of immense power. A forgotten queen tied to moon magic. Dead for centuries. Lucian slowly stood. Shock gripped him. Then, a scream tore through the night. Everyone spun around. One warrior fell. Blood sprayed. A massive dark creature lunged from the trees. Its claws ripped through flesh. Its red eyes burned with hunger. The children screamed. Warriors shouted. Chaos exploded. The beast roared. It wasn't a wolf. It wasn't human. It was something monstrous. Something unnatural. Lucian shifted instantly. His massive black wolf slammed into the creature. The forest erupted into violence. Claws.
Teeth. Blood.
The creature was powerful.
Fast. Deadly.
Then it spoke. And what it said shattered Lucian. Its monstrous voice growled. The queen is awakening. Lucian froze for one deadly second. And that was all the creature needed. Its claws slashed across his chest. Blood exploded. Pain ripped through him. The beast leaned close. Its red eyes glowing. Then it whispered. She remembers soon. Before Lucian could attack again, the creature vanished into darkness.
Gone. Just like that.
Leaving behind silence.
Blood.
And terror. Lucian stood frozen, breathing hard. One truth now haunted him. Elena was not the danger. She was the target. And whatever hunted her had been waiting for her to awaken. By the time Lucian returned to Moonshadow Pack, dawn was breaking. Blood stained his chest. His warriors looked shaken, exhausted, terrified. No one spoke. The silence felt heavier than death. Lucian's mind replayed the creature's words. The queen is awakening. She remembers soon. Every word hit like thunder. Elena, Moon Queen, impossible. And yet, nothing about the past 6 months had been normal. The disappearances, the blood, the silver eyes, the glowing mark, the ancient symbols. Now all of it pointed toward one terrifying truth. Elena was hiding something, or worse, something had been hidden from her. Lucian stormed into the pack house. Celine rushed forward first. Her eyes widened at the blood. What happened? Lucian ignored her. Where is Elena? Celine frowned. In your room. Lucian moved immediately, but he stopped, because someone stood at the end of the hallway.
Tall. Still.
Dangerously calm. A stranger. Every warrior around him stood tense. No one dared approach. The man wore black leather armor trimmed with silver. His presence radiated power, authority, danger. Lucian narrowed his eyes. He had never seen this man before, but his wolf reacted instantly. Threat. Massive threat. The stranger's icy gaze met Lucian's. Unflinching.
Cold. Calculating.
Then he spoke. I came for her. Silence fell. Lucian's voice turned deadly. Who are you? The man stepped forward.
Calm.
Controlled. His voice carried quiet power. I am Alpha Draven. The name sent shock through several elders nearby. Lucian noticed. Kale continued. Leader of the Northern Shadowlands. His sharp eyes darkened. And I'm here for Elena. Lucian's entire body tensed.
No.
Kale's expression didn't change. This isn't a request. Lucian growled. It will be. Tension exploded in the hallway. 2 alphas. Both dominant. Both dangerous. Neither willing to yield. Celine watched from behind. Her heart raced. This was spiraling beyond her control. Kale's gaze remained fixed on Lucian. You don't understand what she is. Lucian stepped closer. Danger radiated from him. She is my mate. Kale finally reacted. His expression shifted. Barely. But Lucian noticed. Interesting. Kale spoke slowly. Then you've already failed her. Silence. Lucian's rage surged. What did you say? Kale's voice sharpened. You let her suffer. He stepped forward. Cold fury now burned in his eyes. You let her believe she was broken. Another step. You let your pack fear her. Another step. You let that snake poison your judgment. His eyes flicked toward Celine. She stiffened. Kale returned his gaze to Lucian. And, because of your weakness, his voice became lethal. She is now vulnerable. Lucian's claws partially extended. You know nothing about us. Kale stared at him, then delivered the sentence that shook everyone. I know exactly who Elena is. Silence. Every person in the hallway froze. Lucian's voice dropped. Talk. Kale glanced toward the elders, then at Lucian. His expression darkened. She is the last living heir of the Moonborn bloodline. Gasps echoed. Several elders went pale. Celine looked confused. Moonborn? Lucian's eyes narrowed. Kale continued. Her blood carries ancient lunar power. He spoke each word carefully. As long as that power remained sealed, she lived as an ordinary wolf. Lucian's heartbeat pounded.
No.
Kale's voice dropped lower. But the seal is breaking. Silence. And once it breaks completely, even Kale looked grim. She will remember everything. Lucian stared. His voice became cold. Remember what? Kale held his gaze. The night they slaughtered her family. The hallway fell into horrifying silence. Lucian felt ice crawl down his spine.
Kale continued.
When Elena was a child, an entire kingdom burned. His eyes darkened. Her parents were murdered. Celine's face drained of color. Kale's voice lowered. She watched everything. Lucian's breathing slowed. Controlled.
Deadly.
Kale delivered the final blow. To protect her mind, he glanced toward the elders. Her memories were sealed. Lucian turned sharply. Toward Elder Magnus. The old elder had gone pale. Too pale. Lucian's voice thundered. You knew. Elder Magnus trembled. Sweat formed on his forehead. Lucian's alpha aura exploded. You knew. Magnus swallowed hard. Then, he lowered his head and whispered, Yes. The hallway erupted.
Shock. Rage.
Disbelief. Lucian's fury became terrifying. For months.
No.
For years. Someone had hidden the truth. About Elena. About his mate. About everything. Then suddenly, a scream tore through the pack house. Elena. Lucian's heart stopped. Kale's face changed instantly.
For the first time.
Fear appeared. Both alphas moved at once, racing toward Elena's room, because they both knew the awakening had begun. Lucian and Kale reached Elena's room at the same time. The door exploded open, and both alphas froze. The room had changed. The air vibrated with power. Wind swirled violently. Furniture trembled. Glass shattered. Moonlight poured through the windows like liquid silver. At the center of the room, Elena floated above the floor, unconscious. Her silver hair moved wildly around her. The glowing mark behind her neck had spread. It now covered her shoulders, her arms, her back. Ancient symbols shimmered across her skin. Beautiful,
Terrifying. Alive.
Lucian stepped forward. Elena! The moment he crossed the doorway, an invisible force threw him backward. He crashed into the wall. Hard. Kale caught himself just in time. His face darkened. The seal is breaking faster than I feared. Lucian rose instantly. What is happening to her? Kale didn't look away from Elena. She's remembering. Elena suddenly screamed. The sound tore through the room. Not from physical pain. Something worse. Memory. Her body shook violently. And then, images exploded inside her mind.
Fire.
Screams.
Blood.
Her memories returned all at once. She was a little girl again, running through a massive palace.
Crying.
Terrified. The Moon Kingdom burned around her. Flames consumed everything. Bodies covered the marble floors. Warriors fell. Blood-stained silver walls. Then she saw them. Her parents, the king and queen, standing before her.
Desperate.
Bleeding. Protecting her. Her mother knelt before her. Tears filled her beautiful silver eyes. Elena, listen to me. Little Elena sobbed uncontrollably. No, Mama. Her father gripped his sword tightly. Blood ran down his arm. Enemies were coming.
Fast.
Her mother placed trembling hands on Elena's face. You must survive. No, her mother cried now. Real tears. Raw pain. You are the last moonborn. Little Elena shook violently. I'm scared. Her mother kissed her forehead. I know. Her father knelt beside them. His voice remained steady despite the horror. You carry our blood. He touched her chest. You carry our power. He looked into her eyes. One day, you will remember. Little Elena cried harder. Her mother began chanting. Ancient lunar magic filled the room. Silver light surrounded Elena. Her mother's voice shook. I seal your memories. Little Elena screamed. No. Her mother wept. Forgive me. The silver light intensified. Her father stood again. Sword raised. The palace doors exploded open. Dark creatures flooded inside. Monsters.
Beasts.
Nightmarish creatures with burning red eyes. The same monsters. The same creatures from the forest. One massive creature stepped forward. Its voice was monstrous. Cold. Pull. Give us the child. Her father roared. Never. Battle erupted. Her mother held Elena tightly. Crying. Praying. Magic surged brighter. The last thing little Elena saw. Her father being overwhelmed. Her mother screaming.
Blood.
Then darkness. Everything vanished. Back in the present. Elena's eyes snapped open. Silver light exploded outward.
Boom.
A shockwave blasted through the room. Lucian and Kale shielded themselves. The entire pack house trembled. Then, silence. Heavy silence. Elena slowly descended to the floor. Her bare feet touched wood. Her head remained lowered. Lucian's heart pounded. Elena. No response. He took a cautious step. Elena? Slowly, she lifted her head, and Lucian stopped breathing. She looked like Elena, but also not Elena. Her silver eyes glowed with terrifying power. Ancient power, royal power, power that commanded silence. She stared at Lucian.
Calm.
Unreadable. No fear. No confusion. Only awareness. Then her gaze shifted toward Elder Magnus standing behind them. The old elder trembled. Her voice finally came.
Cold.
Elegant. Powerful. Magnus. The elder dropped to his knees instantly.
Sweating.
Shaking. Elena. Her eyes sharpened.
No.
The temperature dropped. Wind surged. Silver power crackled through the room. Then she spoke words that made everyone tremble. You will address me properly. Silence. Absolute silence. Then Elena,
No.
the awakened moonborn queen, spoke the words that shook the entire pack. I am Queen Elena of the Moonborn Kingdom. Every soul froze. Every warrior dropped their head. Even Lucian felt his wolf submit. Such was her power. Her voice turned deadly. Now tell me. She stared straight at Magnus. Every word dripped with authority. Who betrayed my family? The room fell silent. No one moved. No one breathed. Queen Elena's silver eyes remained locked on Elder Magnus.
Cold. Sharp.
Unforgiving. Answer me.
Her voice was calm.
But terrifying. Magnus shook violently. Sweat poured down his wrinkled face. Lucian stared at the old elder. Rage simmered inside him. Kale remained silent. Watching. Waiting. Magnus collapsed fully to his knees. His voice trembled. Tears filled his eyes. I never wanted this. Elena's expression did not change. That was not my question. Magnus broke. It was Celine's father. Silence. Then chaos erupted. Celine's face drained of color. No. She stumbled backward. Magnus cried harder. Your father betrayed the Moon Kingdom. The room exploded with shock. Celine shook her head violently. No, he wouldn't. Magnus shouted through tears. He allied with the dark creatures. Silence crashed down again. Magnus' voice broke. He wanted power. Lucian clenched his fists. Magnus continued. He sold the Moon Kingdom for strength, territory, dominance. Elena's expression did not change. That was not my question. Magnus broke. It was Celine's father. Silence. Then chaos erupted. Celine's face drained of color. No. She stumbled backward. Magnus cried harder. Your father betrayed the Moon Kingdom. The room exploded with shock. Celine shook her head violently. No, he wouldn't. Magnus shouted through tears. He allied with the dark creatures. Silence crashed down again. Magnus' voice broke. He wanted power. Lucian clenched his fists. Magnus continued. He sold the Moon Kingdom for strength, territory, dominance. Before you go, tell me one thing. If you were Elena, who would you choose? Lucian or Malachar? Drop your answer in the comments right now. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Turn on notifications so you never miss our next powerful werewolf story.